when you call them. Nurse!
What's going on over here?
You know, how long does it take you people to get here? I've been calling for an hour.
You're not my only patient, you know.
Come on now, I need some help. Can you see I'm in a bad way here?
Yeah.
Come on now, come on.
Okay,
She's
what do you
terrible.
need me to do? Can't you help yourself?
Can you quiet her down?
Come on, I need some help.
Okay, you try and help yourself though. Pull
I
yourself up.
need you to help me.
No, you can do some work too.
I'm trying, that's what, I told you I am
Oh,
trying.
calm her down.
All right, well, okay. Oh, I shouldn't put it back.
Oh,
Okay,
sweetie.
Augustino, just wait.
You know, I have heard of you people.
Oh, keep her
Oh
away
yeah,
from
we
me.
better move you out of the way. She's
Okay,
gonna
all
come after
right,
you.
cut. You were way better than I thought you were going to be.
Way nicer.
Doing very nice. So
Way nicer than
we're
I
just
thought.
going to pause that scenario right there, right?
Yeah.
So because at this point, all of the Wonder Nurse has responded. We've called you here so you could observe this part, but in the real life situation, you would not have been aware this is going on because Olive hadn't called for help yet. So if you were, let's just talk about what you just saw happening first. What did you see happening that was helping or not helping in the situation? Tell me a little bit of what you just observed.
Well, she's asking for help, and the nurse is like, "Oh, you can do it yourself." Like she was not very customer service.
Yeah. So you think the nurse was contributing to the situation, like helping to de-escalate the situation or escalating the situation?
Escalating.
Yeah. What else did you see?
The other resident was getting agitated by her.
Yeah. Anything else? What do you think were some of the triggers?
Maybe I was in a bit of pain. I'm stuck over like this. And I was saying I couldn't get up. Whether I could or not wasn't the issue, but that hurts in that rib cage, right?
Yeah.
Able to be away and all this stuff because she was too already sick, so she can hurt somebody. The table is just.
Was this a good situation to call a code white for? When do we call a code white?
And she started throwing stuff.
And even, I mean, Olive may have been truly, just caught up in the situation, not realize that she was making it worse. But if she's seeing that the situation's getting worse and not better, and maybe, do you think Olive could have handled that by herself, or do you think she needed help?
She needed help.
That's when you can call a code white. So a code white, and we timed you guys because we wanted just to, out of curiosity, we know that we said Moc Code White, so sometimes that means we're like, no, I'll just finish what I'm doing. But look at how many people have responded even within about 5 minutes of my announcement. Most people were here within 1 minute or 2 minutes or 3 minutes, which is good. But a lot can happen in that time. So when someone calls a Moc Code White, basically they're just getting help to come. If you're hearing a Moc Code White and you're responding, what do you expect when you arrive on the scene? Are you expecting just jump in there and being like,
Yeah.
what?
Instructions.
No.
Yeah.
Wait for information.
So you need to meet as a group and you need to make a little bit of a plan. It's a really important, maybe some things are happening really quickly, but we can't just be reactive. We need to actually think about a plan. You need to decide who's gonna take the lead on it.
One question.
Yes.
What was the first thing that Olive said that would have sent any patient off their... She said it almost immediately when she walked in the
No, she
room.
said, "I have lots of other patients."
You're not my only patient. If I'm already agitated, did that just send me off my gourd? I have no relationship with her now because she's just made me angry.
Yeah.
I feel less than.
So even we're in the middle of those situations, we need to be aware that sometimes what we say or what we do, our attitude doesn't make the situation better or worse. So what's the most important? Olive was starting to do a little bit of that. Did you notice? What was she doing to protect herself in that situation? She never got really super close, right?
Yeah.
And even when the Kleenex box moved, she was doing this, and she started. what's, well, now we're getting into some of the things we do as a plan. What's some of the most immediate, what are some of the immediate things you're gonna try to keep in mind when you've got someone in a room, maybe with Mr. Jenkins here in the same room, who wasn't really contributing to the situation? What do you think would be some of our priorities?
Move him out from
Yeah.
the room.
Sometimes it's just getting out of that person's space and getting other people out of that space. So if this is in a room, in a bedroom, you can even be moving beds if you need to, or moving people that can be mobilized. You're getting staff out of the way. You don't want yourself trapped in that room, so you're getting those things out of the way. You can even like start with an initial plan and then okay, let's do that and then let's meet again.
And it's okay to, if you've got everybody out and the patient can't harm themselves, right? And they're chucking things, close the door. It's okay to leave them in there with the door closed, chucking things around until they calm down. Don't try and get back in there. They can't hurt anybody else. You've gotten everybody out of the room.
Yeah.
Right?
But you're not observing, and how do you know there's nothing else there they can harm themselves with?
I mean, there are ways to watch every bed in that room without really getting.
If they're in the far corner, you can have someone watching from the door. If they're right at the door, shut the door.
Yeah.
It's kind of about, you're kind of constantly thinking, I need to guard my own safety and the safety of others. That is the most important thing. We are not trained for takedowns here. We're not trained to do any of those technical things. So the most important thing is making plans that protect your safety and the safety of others first. And then you step back. Now say we got everyone out of the room, she's on her own, she's just fuming now. So what kind of things can you discuss as a team that might be your next steps?
Are you sending Olive back in to see me?
No.
Excellent. No, I like that. No.
Who are you gonna call?
Somebody there's usually always one nurse that has a good relationship with that patient. And if that nurse is on, throw them to the wolves. No.
Well, they can try, but really, I mean,
They're gonna stay.
yeah. So you might send someone in who has a relationship. But who else what other resources do we have available?
Maybe she have a good relation with other care staff.
Yeah, so
You can
media
send
care
them.
staff,
Or
what
family.
about family,
Or family.
anyone else?
Security?
Security, when do we call security?
If it is a danger situation.
How quickly will security come?
2 hours?
Not here, yeah.
Good guess, lower,
Never?
no, lower. I mean,
Higher than never, less than 2 hours.
So,
half an hour?
We just talked about this in the Josh committee. There's an emergency Paladin number. It's a short number. It's not the 1-800 number. It's the one that starts 3800 or something like that. You'll see it around. Take a look for it. We talked about how we can make it more visible, but it's a short number, and they told us they can be here in 20 minutes. That's not immediate, but that might be appropriate when she's calmed down, but we want someone who is security looking to hang out with us for the next few hours. We have a family member that's bristly. We can call that emergency security number and they can be here in 20 minutes, and there are times we can use that. When do we call 911? And that's always an option.
If I've got a hold of her,
Yeah, right away.
Sarah? Sarah?
If there's a weapon, you need to call 911.
3800's on the back
Oh,
here.
look at all the tags.
look at us all pull out our tags.
Look at that.
What's on the back?
3800.
Another reason to wear your name tag. So 911
And Earl's there.
can respond.
This is how I figured out how to call Earl.
911 can respond immediately, but it has to be like there has to be a threat to someone's actual life, right? So that's when you can get immediate response for very urgent situations. But and what about the physician? This is a little bit more of a nursing thing, but we can call the physician.
Medications.
Yep. There was someone recently that in rehab who basically wanted to check themselves out. They were so upset, and the physician actually said that was fine. So we have CV clients. They are able to check themselves out against medical advice.
So our CV and rehab.
Yeah,
They're not certified. If they want to leave, you phone the physician, say Bob wants to leave, and the physician says, great, but I'm not going to give their methadone or whatever, however the physician wants to handle that. But we don't call security because somebody wants to leave.
Yeah.
Right? They sign against medical advice for CV and for rehab.
And some
be against medical advice if the doctor agrees.
Well, the doctor may just be aware, but he'll be like, I don't. Okay.
I don't
They're
support
aware,
the
but they
discharge.
don't agree. So then we can, but at least they're part of the loop, you know. And we can give that person, we want them to make an informed decision. So we say your physician doesn't agree for reasons, and this could be the risk, but here you go, sign along to the dotted line.
What if they refuse to sign anything? They're so angry they refuse to sign.
So then two of you, usually at that point, another nurse has been privy to the conversations, you've usually got some backup, then both of you independently chart what you experienced, what was said, and that the patient refused. So then you have support that you educated the patient and the patient still refused to sign, and then you let them go.
Yeah. Anything else? Have you guys, has this kind of brought up any questions in your mind about certain situations of what you want to do? Are there any questions that you have in your mind? Oh yeah, sorry.
So
you had
if the Kleenex box comes flying at you, I guess that would be one thing. But if in your room you aren't monitoring all those things that family are bringing in, whether it's a potted plant or a new TV that hasn't been fixed to a stand, these are all things that are going to hurt you.
Yeah.
So that sort of stuff is where we all need to be paying attention every day as far as what's going to happen in our rooms.
That's a good point.
Sometimes people have pocket knives and scissors.
Even a lighter, like that's coming at you quick.
So just be aware, sometimes we care plan around those items or we keep them safe in the nurse's cart, depending on, but yeah, those things are all things to be aware of. When you're always constantly, that's part of that point of care assessment we talk about when before you start care, being aware of your environment so that you're not slip, trip, falling, and aggression is also something. So any other questions?
We can put the soft restraints on them, like when they are doing this.
So here's the trick. You know how long it takes to get a soft restraint?
No, but before, like somebody can come from the back and
Okay.
So
and all of and without hurting each other, somebody's going to get hurt.
Because you don't like her, that's
right. It's all okay. The thing is, unless you're certified to be trained to take down, which is a whole, I've done it in emergency, it's a whole different, it is, I'm the lead, you're going to take right arm, right leg, left leg. It is huge. And I don't think,
even giving a Haldol injection, you've got to have, that person has to be calm. Like you cannot go, you're going to, get yourself injected, right?
I think the good thing is,
day off.
I think the good thing is giving the resident time and communication in this time. To calm the resident down, and then after that we'll see what we can do.
Yes.
Because
you're absolutely right.
99% of the time is de-escalation that'll help you.
In this scenario that came up from one of our units, the patient has a brain injury and is agitated at the best of time. We need to know that when that patient says, "Sarah, give me my water," that is probably their brain injury.
Yeah.
And we don't go,
"You don't talk to me like that.
I'm going to talk to you like that," because then this is the relationship that's set up between a nurse and a patient in rehab. Without understanding, the other piece is delirium.
Yes.
If I was here yesterday and I'm loving all over Sarah, and all of a sudden I'm cursing her, I'm trying to hit her, right? We talk about our UTIs, well that's the delirium showing up, right? So delirium is the other place to be mindful of.
So the first priority is your safety, then maybe calm them down, and then be like, no, this might be a delirium. When they're calm, maybe we're gonna try to get a urine, we're gonna try to get their vital signs, we're gonna find out if they have a fever when they're dialed down. So that can be you're thinking of a cause afterwards, but not in the moment. You don't want to put yourself, you don't think of a plan that's going to get anyone hurt.
There was a resident in Trims, and he's a giant guy, like boxer, tall, and so on. The problem is, they used always to call me down to talk to him, because I don't know what is going there to bring him down, although he's on the bottom floor. The problem there, because police is always there. He's working around and he's strong, but the problem is anytime he can go high, and that is, I found out later, I said that, this is the problem of medication. he has a medication which is supposed to take it on time, and sometimes medication is not on time. By the time medication is not on time, after half an hour, you go into that situation. He will refuse medication, he will fight, he will don't, you know, that is a problem, you know, and unfortunately they're always calling the police, always there, fire truck, because he's giant, he can throw everything everywhere. So that is the thing also to control the residents sometimes. Nurses have to be very, you know, in time on medication. You know, if it is taken regularly or for time, which is good to keep residents down. Otherwise, if situation escalate like this, and then you have those.
So it's noticing the pattern. We notice this happens whenever his medication is given late, and so care planning. That's why we have, for anyone who is purple dotted, it has to have a care plan in place. And part of that care plan, if we know a trigger is medication times or not having a medication on board, it's including that in the care plan. And they found out that at that time, I said that, you know, it's a problem medication. You know, we sit down. And they was really happy that I helped, and the resident was all smooth.
Yes. Follow the care plan.
Good input.